Welcome gamers! Welcome to the third playthrough of Burgle Bros 2, and we are on our third heist, Laundry Day. Let's read it. The safe is full of marked chips, so we'll have our work cut out for us. Fortunately, we know where we can find matching chips around the casino. We'll need to swap out the marked chips for the clean ones and then get out. And our two characters are the Rook. He's here because I got a reward card for him at the end of the last heist, and the Raven was chosen randomly. Also, as usual, I went for a full random layout, including the walls. Not sure what to think of that. We'll see how it turns out. Okay, we're on suspicion level 6, so we have all the bouncer cards in there, plus one distracted card on floor 1. Now, the two entrances are here. Let's start with the Rook. The Rook will enter here. And this is the crow's nest. Okay, when the bouncer enters, adjacent players gain heat. And he has 4 actions. For his first action, he preps his earpiece, which says move any player to a tile adjacent to their current tile. Ignore when you enter effects. And I can use this 2 times. For his second action, he's gonna peek here. A mole, that's fine. Starting with a mole is cool. And the mole is on the monorail. For his third action, he'll go here. Actually, for his third action, he could peek here. Would be only bad if it was a prima donna. Okay, for the third action, he'll take a risk and peek here. Another mole. Okay, and the room is the magic show. And then for his fourth action, he'll move to the monorail. And the bouncer moves 1, 2, 3 spaces. Now the Raven, yeah. I think I have her enter here because this is kind of a dead end, and if she has a chance to start there, might be a good idea. So she enters, and that's the revolving door where we can move diagonally, even through walls. For her first action, she'll prep a gear. She'll prep free bird, and she can place these crow tokens on a tile within 2 tiles, and they slow down the bouncer by 1 step. And then her second action is peeking in this room. That's the buffet. Third action is moving into the buffet, which adds a cube. On 3 cubes, there'll be a commotion. And let's see, for the fourth, for the fourth action, she'll peek here. And we have a crowd in the owner's office. A crowd in the owner's office. Okay. That's okay. So far, it's okay. The bouncer moves 1 space, gets a new destination, which is here, 2, and a new destination here, 3. That's no good because he goes 1, 2, 3. I wanted to activate the mole, but then there is only 2 actions left. And there's nothing at the moment I can do with the gear to redirect the bouncer. So I guess I have to leave the mole behind for now and peek here. Prima donna. The prima donna pulls me into the room. And that's the table games. I need to roll the casino dice. On a 7 or 11, I lose a heat. Otherwise, I make a commotion. Okay, I'll re-roll this one. 5. So commotion. The destination is already here, but bouncer moves one space. That was my first action. Second action is peeking here. Ooh, nice. Escalator. Third action is peeking here. Count room. You cannot peek, and if you end your turn here, make a commotion. I do not want to end my turn here, so for my fourth action, I'm going to hide in the escalator. And the bouncer moves 1, 2. A new destination is up here, and 3. Okay, might be a good idea to send the rook up to the second floor as soon as possible. Raven. Raven, for her first action, will move into the owner's office. For her second, will peek here. The saleswoman gets discarded. Happy the saleswoman is out. She always makes me nervous. That's her second action. 1, 2. Third action is peek in this room. And now there are chances the bouncer will move up there, but I'm in the crowd. I cannot end my movement here. I don't want to retreat here. So I guess I'll use my fourth action to prep another gear. I'm going to prep bird tricks. This is where I can remove crow token and replace them with crowd token. And the crowd token just acts as the regular crowd, meaning they save me from gaining heat. And that's her turn. The bouncer moves 1, 2, enters the surveillance, adds a cube, and if there is a fourth cube, each player on the floor gains 2 heat. And he has 1 movement left, and let's hope he doesn't move north. Okay, here's his new destination. Now, I could either move her out of the way with the earpiece, which would save me the crowd token just for later, or have the bouncer move there and activate it. I will stay there. Okay, he'll move here with his third movement, and the crowd saves me from gaining heat. Wow, he's rushing through his deck. The new destination is C3 here. Back to the rook. He'll move up here. A revolving door. That's okay. Then he'll peek here. Second action. Oh, the escalator down. That's interesting. Third action, he'll go here. He could actually like go down here just to reveal this tile. Maybe on his next turn. For his fourth action, he'll prep another gear, which is impersonate. Actually, with this card, he can use the prepped gear of another player once. Like copy an effect once. That's cool. And the bouncer moves 1, 2, 3. Back to the raven. Now, the bouncer moves down here. She cannot peek here, so she could move in here blindly. Because she wants to get to the moles to get our safe dice. Okay, let's move her here. First action, you cannot peek, and if you end your turn here, make a commotion. So for her second action, she has to move into this room. And this is another mole. They're all piling up here, and it's the front desk. When you enter, if you have less than 3 heat, gain 1 heat. Well, that's her first heat. And this is pretty lucky, all the moles here. For Action 3 and 4, she activate the mole and add the first safe die to the owner's office. And the bouncer moves 1, adds a cube, 2, 3, and his new destination is down here. Okay. Now the rook peeks here for his first action. And that's a drunk, gets discarded. The pit boss, if you have less than 4 heat, make a commotion. Okay. He has 0 heat, so for his second action, he'll move here, trigger a commotion. For his third action, he'll peek here, another drunk. And for his fourth action, move out of the way. And the bouncer moves 1. Ha! Okay, here is the next destination. I want to use earpiece once to move any player to an adjacent tile and ignore when enter effects. And the bouncer continues moving. Second movement, new destination is here. Third move. That was close. And he cannot do much here on his next turn. Well, okay. The Raven moves down here, activates the mole for 2 actions. That's a second safe die. She's at 3 actions. And 1, 2, 3, she'll go here. And that's that. The bouncer moves 1, 2. Oh, his new destination is the mole. 3. Let's think about when it's her turn. Now, what can the rook do? I mean, he could go down the escalator for no reason. If he triggers a commotion here, that would be pretty bad. We cannot move the bouncer anywhere with our gear. So it looks like the rook will only move here, and for his second action, prep another gear. This is body double. The current player jumps to the other tile with the same name as their tile if it is revealed. That could be interesting. 1 use only. And that's all he can do at this point. And the bouncer moves 1, new destination, 2, 3. Cool, go away. Now this is tricky. If she goes in here, uses 2 actions on the mole and goes back, the bouncer might get her. 1, 2, if he moves up here. He only moves up there if one of those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, if one of these 4 tiles will be the next destination, and only one of these have been revealed, so that's too risky for me. Okay, let's try this. I'll go here, first action, second action, peek here. The pit boss, when you enter, if you have less than 4 heat, trigger a commotion. Oh boy, that's no good. I don't want to trigger a commotion here. Here I would gain another heat. And if the bouncer moves in here, I'll take a heat from the crow's nest. I can still react. I can still react to the bouncer movement with my birds. So she'll just stay here and she'll prep her last gear, which is foul play. Place a crow token on a tile within 2 tiles, and on either floor move the destination marker to a tile with a crow. That could be interesting. Then the bouncer moves. He goes 1. Oh, distracted. Cool. I can choose a tile with an even number. Even. Wow, that's actually the only even tile that makes sense. On the other hand, it's the surveillance, which could be pretty dangerous. Yeah, so I'm gonna choose this tile and he goes 2, 3. Not happy. Okay, back to the rook. We still have a problem here because the pit boss, if you have less than 4 heat, make a commotion, which would immediately move the bouncer in this room. But I need to make some progress. That's the problem. I'm thinking of using the birds and the bird tricks. Oh, that feels like a waste, but I don't want to spend like my whole turn here. So I'm going to use free bird to place a crow token on a tile within 2 tiles of the current player here. First use. And then use bird tricks once to remove a crow token and replace it with a crowd token. Okay. Now the rook moves. He moves here. He has less than 4 heat. He triggers a commotion. The bouncer moves in his space, but the crowd actually saves the rook from gaining heat. Then the rook, for his second action, peeks here. Mole. Wow, all 4 moles. Oh, and by the way, we need a new destination for the bouncer. It's here, which means he'll move this direction. I have 2 actions left. Man, I want to activate the mole. That's too risky at the moment. So for the third action, I'm gonna go to the pool. The pool event is no running. At the end of this turn, both bouncers take a turn, but each bouncer only moves 2 spaces. That's okay. And I have 1 action left. Do I wanna peek here? Yes, I'm gonna peek here. Undercover means the bouncer moves into this room like this. And then at the end of his turn, because of the no running event, each bouncer activates and moves 2 rooms. Now the surveillance room is a problem because I don't want to have the 4th cube here. This bouncer needs a new destination down here. Cool. But now the raven, she can actually go 1, 2, 3, 4, spend 2 actions on the mole, and we have the 3rd safe die. And then she goes back up here, sends up the safe dice once the rook has found the safe, and hopefully she's in time to work on the surveillance room. The bouncer moves 1, 2, 3, gets a new destination. Well, he's rushing through his deck. And we're back to the rook. The pit boss here is really annoying because I cannot just move back. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Interesting choices. Okay, I want to go to the cashier cages and add a cube. And I'm thinking of using body double to jump to the other tile with the same name. So I could jump here for free, use 2 actions on the mole, and then I should get out of here because the bouncer 1, 2 will most likely enter this tile. But I want to speed things up. Let's give it a try. I'm going to use body double. And this, as an action, I can give the next player an extra action. I'm gonna go here. This is entering. Use action 2 and 3 on the mole. Hey, we have all 4 safe dice here. Isn't that amazing? And I'll just blindly move into this room. Surveillance. Okay. Whew! And the bouncer moves 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the Raven's only job at this point is move up there and roll the safe dice. This path is dangerous, so let's go this way. 1, 2, 3. If you have less than 3 heat, gain 1 heat, so that's her second heat. 1, 2, 3. And she needs to stay here because she doesn't want to trigger a commotion here. That's fine, that's okay. The bouncer moves 1, 2, 3. His new destination is C2. Ooh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, we find out. Then we have the rook up here. What is he doing? He actually needs to find the safe. He'll peek here. We have the buffet. He'll peek here. That's the prima donna. The prima donna pulls him in this room, which is the magic show, where I can move through a wall. Third action is peeking here. Come, be the safe. It's not the safe. And well, fourth action is just 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Moving back. And the bouncer goes 1, 2, new destination, up here, 3. Now, Raven's turn. I'm a bit worried that the bouncer might move into the surveillance room and place the 4th cube. She could go 1, 2, 3 and remove all cubes. But then if the bouncer moves on her space, we could do the free bird tricks thing. Or some other kind of trick. Okay, she'll move 1, 2, 3, and for 1 action remove all the cubes. I think we can still react once we see the new destination. So the bouncer moves 1, gets a new destination. Yes, down here. Go away. 2, 3. That's so helpful. Now we need to find the safe up here. That's really all we need. So rookie rook goes here, adds another cube. Peeks here, a drunk. And the slots make a commotion unless a teammate is in the same row or column. We don't want to be there. Third action is peeking here, another drunk. Oh, still no safe. Oops, sorry. Earthquake in the casino. And 1, 2, 3, actually, well, I can only retreat back to the surveillance. Luckily, I can go through this. I have 2 paths through here, through the magic show. The bouncer moves 1, 2. New destination is down here. 3. Fine. So she doesn't have much to do. She'll peek here. That's another lounge. And she'll move here to the owner's office. And she'll wait and hope for the rook to find the safe. We have 3 cards left. That's the problem. We have 3 cards left only in this floor. Well, let's hope for the best. The bouncer moves 1, 2. New destination is up here. And here go here. 3. Better find the save now. She can slow him down. Okay. Okay, if you don't mind, I'd like her, in retrospect, spend 1 action to give the rook 1 more action. Because that was her 3rd action. So he has 5 actions now. He goes 1, 2, enters the lounge. Dubious meeting. Put this card in front of the current player. Well, this card is in front of you. You cannot peek. Okay. I'm gonna keep it here. So, which means he needs to move into this room as 3rd action. That's the monorail, the 2nd one. Still no save. As a 4th action, I'm gonna move back, because as soon as I draw another launch event or event card, I can discard this one. So I'm gonna move back. That's another launch event. Tipsy. The bouncer on his floor jumps to his destination and sets his destination to the tile where he came from. And 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 1 more action because I got 1 from the Raven. And I want to peek here. Be the save. Oh God, it's not the save. Oh, that's terrible. Okay, back to the crow. Back to the Raven. She needs to wait. But hopefully, I mean, next turn she can send up the save dice. Okay, let's do this. She uses the free bird, her 2nd free bird, and places it here. That's the 2nd use of this card. And this one she can spend to make a commotion. And then she'll stay here. She'll stay here. And the guard goes 1, slowed down by 1, so 2, 3. Back to the rook. Now we need to discover the save. Come on, my friend. 1, peek, 2, a crowd, and the save. 3, and peek, 4. This is going really well. Except that we only have 2 cards left here on the 1st floor. The bouncer moves 1, 2, 3. New destination is here. And back to Raven. Now I want to have all 4 of the save dice up there. Let's see what we need. We need 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 6. Boy, we need 5 different numbers. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so she will use all 4 of her actions to put the save dice up there. And the rook will use his earpiece to move a player to an adjacent tile. And that's the 2nd use of the earpiece. And he can now, for an action, take the heat from any other player. Okay. And the bouncer moves 1, 2, 3. And his new destination is, please, far away. Well, it's not. It's here. And now it's up to the rook. I mean, he needs to crack the safe with 4 actions, hopefully. Let's give it a go. Let's move these together a bit to roll here. So, 2, 1, 3, 1, 6, 4. First action, first roll. Cracking the safe, 3 and 4. 4 and 3. 1 die goes back to the owner's office. Second action, next roll. 5 and 6. We have a 6 here, but no 5. We still need 1s and 2s. 1 die goes back. Third roll. Come on, please. No. Fourth roll. No. Okay. It was easy up till this point. And the bouncer moves 1, 2, 3. And his new destination is, he heard something. Okay, but there's a crowd, so I'm not afraid. The question is, how do we get safe dice up? It's her turn. She could go up, bring 2 safe dice up and go back, so she's safe. And I guess that's all she can do, right? So she goes 1, 2, 3, and 4. Not happy with that. And the bouncer moves 1, 2, 3, and he draws the last card. And the destination is down here. Wow, and then he starts hunting. 1, 2, 3. Now let's hope the rook rolls the right numbers. His first action, save roll. No, 1 die goes back. Second action, a 2. Okay. And now the question is, should he move out of there? Because the bouncer will enter the room. He cannot move into the slots. That would create a commotion. So he stays there and relies on the crowd to protect him, which it'll do because the bouncer move 1, 2. We discard the crowd instead of gaining heat. And the new destination is C1, 3. Okay, he's out of the way. Now we have a huge problem here. Because she can move up, bring 3 dice to the safe, but then the bouncer would go, oh, he slowed down. Perfect, he slowed down by the crow. So let's do that. She goes 1, 2, 3, 4. If he does not roll a 1 with those 3 dice, I don't know, retire him. Now it's getting dangerous because the bouncer moves 1. This takes him, the crow takes him another movement, so 2. There's no more card. The destination marker gets removed and he's hunting, meaning having her as the target. Okay. Okay. Now, rook, please, can you please crack the safe? Let's give it a go. First action, I need a 1. No. Second action. Yes, here it is. Oh. So that was his second action. And we cracked the safe. Now, as usual, you know this is a spoiler. We flip the card. And it says, fake orders. Take 2 random discarded patrol cards and put them at the bottom of either patrol deck. And you know what? We're going to do this here, obviously on floor 1. And just take 2 random ones and put them back on the deck. And I'm actually not sure how this is handled because I assume we draw a new card and set a new bouncer destination. Because now we have cards left. So here it goes. Here's his new destination. Each player takes a safe die and sets it on 1. I'm going to remove all the other ones. And here's the fun. When a player enters a tile with a number exactly one higher than the number shown on their die, they may turn the die to the next number. A die stops at 5 and cannot be turned to a 6. And once a player has his die on a 5, that player can exit through one of those exits. And when both have exited, we win. So translation is, we actually need to move through the tiles with ascending numbers. So like here, the 2, and then the 3 next, and the 4 and the 5, to turn up the die. And once we're on 5, we can exit. Woo, that's rough. So the next 2s are, here is a 2, and that's the only 2 on this floor. Oh, that's so far away. And down here, the 2 is here. Here we have 2. Oh, come on, she really needs to get down here. And here's a 2. Oh, the monorail has a 2. That would be cool. For the rook, he could go here. The 2, where's the next 3? The 3 is here. A 4 is here. Come on, a 5 is here. Well, we'll find out. The rook still has 0 heat and the raven has 2 heat. And I guess that's the end of the rook's turn. And the bouncer moves 1, 2, 3 and adds a cube to the surveillance. If she could move the bouncer away. But she can't. She could move. She could place a crowd token here. Go here. That's the 2. But the 3 is also so far away. There's another 3. If she goes here, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, better this way. Okay, she goes 1, 2 has a lounge event, which is espresso bar. The bouncer on this floor immediately moves 2 spaces. Oh, come on, guy. 1, 2, that's the last card in his new destination down here. Three. Problem is, she cannot, if she ends her turn here, she would make a commotion. And if she ends her turn here, when she enters here, she needs to roll a die. And she might trigger a commotion. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, she moves here. She rolls 2 dice on a 7 or 11. Oops, that's a 5. Let's roll the other one again. That's a 6. Unfortunately, that's a commotion. And the bouncer moves 1 space. That's her 4 actions. And the bouncer moves 1, 2, 3, adding a cube to the surveillance. Then, now the problem is, if the rook moves down, oh wait a second, let's bring the die with her. He can go 1, 2, turn his die to a 2 here, and then better go up again because the bouncer's here. On the other hand, wait a second. Place a crow on a tile within 2 spaces. On either floor, move the destination marker to a tile with a crow. If we move the destination marker here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, we could redirect him. Still no idea if he should stay down. So he goes here. He goes here for 2. He can turn his die to 2. Again, the next 3s are here, here, or here. 1, 2, 3. He'll go back. He'll go back up. And maybe he gonna use this 3. We'll see. Oh, before I do that, I forgot to draw another card, another destination. Okay, he's here. And the bouncer moves 1, 2, new destination. There are 2 cards left only in this bouncer deck. 3. I mean, we can take some heat, right? Rook has 0 heat, Raven has 2. Man, I want to go 2 and 3 with her. But this could trigger a commotion here. Okay, here's my plan. She goes 1, that's a tile with number 2. She flips her die. 2, that's a 1. 3. And you know what? She goes into the slots because she does not trigger a commotion when a teammate is in the same column. And that's number 3. Ha! Got it. The bouncer moves 1, adds a cube to surveillance, which is dangerous. 2, gets another target, which is here. And 3, another cube to the surveillance. Whoa, it's getting close. And there's only 1 card left here. We need to hurry up so much. Now here's my plan. He can go 3, use the 4 here, the 5 here. That might be better than using the 5. Where's the next 5 is here. That could work too. 1, 2, 3, 4. Interesting. Okay, the rook. The rook goes here. Die goes to 3. 2, 3, 4. Die goes to 4. And now let's hope. Okay, he now wants to use his impersonate and he wants to use her foul play once. This flips over. And the foul play says, place a crow token on a tile within 2 tiles of the current player. This goes here to slow him down. On either floor, move the destination marker to a tile with a crow. I want to move this destination marker up here. And I can use it again because this was only copied by the rook. And let's hope he doesn't move to the left. So he moves 1, 2, and his new destination is down here, 3, and now no more cards, he's in hunt mode. Now what does she do? She goes 1, 2, 3, he'll move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, he'll move clockwise. That's bad. Okay, here we go. Let's try this. She'll trigger a commotion as an action on her tile. So the destination marker goes here and he goes 1 space. That's her first action. 2, 3, 4 turns her die to 4. And the bouncer moves 1, 2, 3. Ha! This works out. The rook activates and he goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, man. He cannot escape. But on the other hand, I don't care because he can take so much heat. He has no heat. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's say he goes down here. 1, 2. Oh, he needs to go here anyway. 3. Switches the die to 5. Now that's his goal. He needs to do a roll. It's a 5, so he triggers a commotion. The guard moves here. There's nothing I can do. I can. I'm going to use foul play again. Place a crow token on a tile within 2 tiles of the current player. And I'm going to use bird tricks. The second time I'm going to use bird tricks to replace it with a crowd token. Okay. And the bird tricks are flipped over. They will now take 1 heat from any other player. Okay. And the bouncer, now the bouncer moves here and the crowd actually saves the rook. And the destination marker is removed because the bouncer is now hunting. Ha! Okay. He's gonna, for his 4th action, take a heat from the other player. So both players have 1 heat each. Then the bouncer activates. He's already on his tile, so the rook takes 2 heat, so he's at 3. Let's keep this interesting. His card is here, and place her card here. And that's his turn. Now she can go 1, 2, 3, take 2 heat, take another 2 heat from the bouncer. Wow, it works. Okay, she goes. Wow, what a finish. Let's see if this works out. 1, 2, enters the table games, turns her die to 5. I gain 2 heat. And she rolls the dice. And it is 7. She loses 1 heat. 1, 2, 3. And yeah, I don't think she needs to do anything. That's that. Now, the bouncer activates and gives each player 2 heat. So the rook is at 5 and she's at 4. But now we just move out. The rook goes 1, 2, ends his turn here and exits, which means the bouncer does not activate. And then our raven does the same. 1, 2, exit. Wow, that was great and that was close. So we made it. Here's our heist lock. The rook and the raven won this scenario and we are on suspicion level 7 again. And our reward, warning, spoiler, is just the next card here, which is an alternate gear for the hacker. So I guess the hacker will join us next time. Cool. See you next time. Hope you had fun. Bye.